The topic for presentation is about metastatic infrastructure-less networks for reliable data transmission to augment Internet of Things applications. Most of the catastrophic situations we do come across the context where you could not send data because there is no telecommunication coverages. In other situations, such as people do go for mountaineering or for hiking or skiing, where they do have electronic devices with them, but they could not communicate easily. We also have situations where certain cities and urban areas where people do have mobile phones with them, but because of the strength in the weakness of telephone signals, they could not communicate easily or they cannot send the messages to. So how do we fix the failed messages to send the communication system very active? Or in other terms, we do have the usage of electronic devices or your mobile phones to make use of them even if there is no infrastructure or no telecom coverages. To overcome these problems where there is no infrastructure or there is no coverages of telephone signals, we can make use of this technology called mesh static technology, wherein it will allow us to communicate remotely for a longer distances, very with a less cost and with a more reliable data transmission. So in this topic, we'll try to come across to understand the technology called as mesh static technology and the opportunities that are available for us to explore this technology for a wide range of applications and what is the current state of the art, followed by the objectives of the proposed work which has been shown as an outcomes in some of the results in this paper, and the methodology that we have used to perform certain experiments with certain tools and the corresponding results. Finally, we do conclude with some of those opportunities that do exist for using this technology for a wider applications. So if you come across the basic wireless network classification, the wireless network classification can be given in terms of two topics such as infrastructure-less network and the infrastructure network. In the infrastructure-less network, we do have autonomous wireless systems wherein we consist of the nodes which try to communicate with each other, and there is no existing infrastructure to control these nodes or do have central control over the nodes to exchange the data. Most of the time, the nodes do act like a hop or an intermediary a system which will try to forward or help us in exchanging the data between the nodes which are connected across the network. Whereas an infrastructure-based network uses fixed wide or wireless network with huge towers or with huge infrastructure to have communication across the nodes or across the devices that are to be connected in the network. In the wireless networks, we do come across the different types of nodes and the links that help us to have certain communications. The nodes can be such as the routers, wired or wireless routers, the gateways, servers, mobile clients, stationary clients, so on and so forth. And the link types that have been established among these nodes can be with the intra-mesh networks, mobile client access, internet access links. Overall, in an infrastructure based networks, we see or we use an internet as a backbone to have communication across the devices with the help of various node types and different link types that are established to exchange the data in the network. So internet is a backbone for the infrastructure based network. If you look to the taxonomy, the wireless networking with the infrastructure network, such as the having internet as a backbone, there can be a single hop or a multi hops. So we do have certain technologies which are being classified, which are being categorized in terms of infrastructure based and infrastructure less networks, and we use these technologies for various applications for short range data transmissions as well as for the long range data transmissions. And of course, for the Internet of Things applications do we use the wireless sensor networks and the wireless mesh networks. Of course, most of the systems do exist in the current situation is on the infrastructure based, where most of the time the internet is very much required. In other terms, the telecom coverage systems or the infrastructure is very much required to do exchange the data across the nodes or across the network. But this mesh static technology basically uses an inexpensive GPS radios as an extensible mesh communication systems. These do not require reliable internet access, and each member of the mesh can see the location and distance of all other members who are connected in this with this mesh static technology. Everyone can receive the messages from even the farthest member too. The opportunities, in other terms, the research challenges which are been existing with the infrastructure based network is that most of the time when the major disasters do occur, communication systems rely on fixed terrestrial infrastructure which are proven to be rather unreliable. A good redundancy and self-healing networks are at most required for us in the infrastructure-based systems. They can be easily extensible and can be robust too, but when they are applied in the environmental monitoring, agriculture, and climate change observations, these two systems are very much in question. So we have community networks as well as we have military communications, wherein we do establish an infrastructure to have a structured mesh networks or a ad hoc mesh networks, as well as we can have certain community systems do takes place with the help of various wireless technologies. But the problem is that most of the time, if the infrastructure does not work properly, how the communication should takes place. That's the challenge, and of course, that challenge is overcome by the mesh static technology. If you look to the emergency response systems, wherein we have number of access points which are very much required for various cellular communication systems. Of course, we can use even walkie-talkie for the emergency response systems too. But the problem is that some of them do lack on the bandwidth and of course on the geolocation systems. When you come across the geolocation criteria, wherein the cellular technologies, the walkie-talkies or the short-range communication systems or the wireless mesh network systems, they are very much either poor or limited for our emergency response systems because the infrastructure does not support nor they do have certain capabilities to transmit the data across the networks. So if you look at the low power wireless wide area networks, the challenges do exist for certain wireless and mobile systems, wherein the key resources that needs to be considered for this low power or the communication bandwidth, the power consumptions, coverage range, and the low cost. So when you look into the basic criteria for a system to be established to communicate with each other with low power and the low cost and the same time which tries to have a easy machine to machine communication or a device to device communication, we do have two types of low power wide area networks technologies such as narrowband IoT and the LoRa. LoRa stands for long range. The narrowband IoT technology is basically used for, of course, the licensed spectrums which requires certain quality of service to be taken care of. So the quality of service parameters such as latency, reliability, range can be easily taken care by narrowband IoT provided the cost is high. Whereas the LoRa has advantages in terms of battery lifetime, the capacity and the cost. So the advantage of the LoRa is that we can use this technology for long range communication with low cost and with a high capacity data transfer across the devices even if there is no internet or the telecommunication coverage is not available. So we have one such device called as a LoRa device, basically operates in the unlicensed band below 1 gigahertz, which uses chip spread spectrum technology for the various modulation schemes for the data which is coded and which is being transmitted across the devices. So we have an HealthTech device which helps us to communicate uh, using the LoRa technology. So of course the battery life is more than the 10 years and it can transmit the data to a greater distance of 15 kilometers line of sight. So we take this LoRa technology which is been embedded or which is been considered in the mesh static technology, wherein the devices help us to communicate without the infrastructure or without the internet connection for various purposes. The objectives of the current work is basically to establish a peer-to-peer communication using mesh static devices and understand how the data do communicate with those mesh static devices. Similarly, study the multi-hop communication for those mesh static data transmissions and study and understand the channel settings which are an integral part on the mesh static devices which are communicated across the mesh topology. Also, we try to evaluate the quality of service parameters in terms of throughput, latency, jitter, and of course, these are been discussed or these are the experiments are conducted by transmitting the text data across these mesh static devices. So these are the steps that we have undergone. So the key characteristics of the mesh static using the LoRa with 433 megahertz frequency, which has been a LoRa device, the HealthTech device is helping us, and we have established a mesh network which can set up the system, and we try to have certain channel configurations wherein the data can be transmitted with various spread spectrum or the spreading factors and the coding rates. So, and of course this the tools, the software that we have developed is using the Python and which has been running fine, which can transmit the data across these devices. The experimental setup is that we have developed a graphical user interface GUI using the Python, wherein we can control and we can manage the mesh static devices. Of course, the existing Android apps do exist, but we have developed a system wherein we can manage the data that is to be sent across those devices. So basically, there are two situations, the two setups. One is the peer-to-peer with 5 to 10 meters range. The two mesh static devices are connected with each other. One mesh static device is connected to the laptop and other mesh static device is connected to the mobile phone. In another setup, we have put one hop in between the two mesh static devices. Of course, there is a 8-inch concrete wall where we can take an intermediary node which is acting like a hop, is also a mesh static device which also helps us to forward the data across these two devices. So two LoRa N nodes are used for the peer-to-peer communication, and of course the message that are being transmitted, the packet sizes, the timestamps are being recorded to check the quality of service parameters in the transmission process. So this is how the screen shows the mesh static GUI. Of course, the devices 1 and devices are connected. Device 2, both the devices are connected. And we have configured the mesh static set times using the mesh static APIs. We were able to configure and design and develop a mesh static GUI so that this interface will help us to manage and control those devices across the mesh topology. This is the screen which help us giving the information about the spread factors settings and as the coding rates which are being set with the different bandwidths. So the commands that are used for setting up those devices, and we do collect the packets data in terms of JSON formats so that we can analyze the data after the collection is been done. And we have customized the packets so that we can take the data from the preambles to from ID flags and the actual data that is being getting transmitted. So for testing purpose, we have transmitted the text data that is to be sent across those devices. And these are the results which we have used or which we have obtained from those data transmission across those devices in the peer-to-peer as well as on the single hop communication. So various spreading factors, the coding rates and the bandwidths have been uh, given with different values, and the transmission delays and as well as the data rates were analyzed, and which are very much ideal for the data transmissions across those mesh static devices. Similarly, we also compared the data rates with different frequencies at different frequencies of those mesh static devices, and this is the graph which shows that the differences between the ideal and the actual values that we have obtained from the data transmissions. Similarly, we have compared with the peer-to-peer versus the single hop communications and the transmission rates that are taken care in the process of data exchanges between the mesh static devices. Then the jitter, the delay that is happening with different frequencies for the single hop as well as for the zero hop. The spikes do indicate there is a certain spikes which are giving us that the data transmission is very much abnormal at certain instances, but rather they are regular for the most of the time. So this particular paper that is being submitted provides an experimental study results of the teletype data transmission on the text data which has been transmitted across the mesh static devices using the LoRa technology. The developed technology can be used in situations where there is no telecommunication or internet system for data transfer across long geographical regions. That is the advantage of this network. And of course, this mesh static is an ongoing open source community project, and still the development is helping us to improve various other APIs so that we can use it for various applications. The future improvements that can be implemented is we can send and receive multimedia data like the images, audios, and videos in chunks of bytes to various mesh static devices where we don't require the internet connection to. So that is the advantage of this using the mesh static devices without the using internet or without using the infrastructure telecom systems. We can also send images, audio, video, provided the chunks of data are to be analyzed properly before we try to make use of them. And of course, multi-hop is also going to be permitted in a controlled broadcasting through which several nodes in the channel can be analyzed. So I will be very much happy to receive the questions from you, and we'll try to answer it, and we'll as much as possible. Thank you.